For most of human history, there were no dating apps, no first dates at restaurants, no texting someone at midnight to see if they got home safe, no love songs on the radio, no wedding venues with fairy lights, no asking your friends if you should double text. And yet, somehow, your ancestors still found each other, fell for each other, had kids, stayed together, built something that lasted, which raises a genuinely weird question. How did ancient humans actually fall in love? Not the biology. That part's obvious. I mean the actual thing. The butterflies, the noticing someone, the deciding this is the person. How did that work before any of the infrastructure we use even existed? Because it turns out the answer is kind of beautiful and kind of makes you question whether everything we've built around romance is actually helping us.
So here's the thing you have to understand first. Your ancestors didn't meet strangers. Like ever, really. They lived in groups of about 20 or 30 people. Same people every single day for their entire lives. You weren't swiping through a pool of options. You were looking at the same 30 faces you'd been looking at since birth. Which sounds limiting, but here's what it actually meant. By the time you fell for someone, you already knew them. Not their highlight reel, not the version of themselves they put on a first date. All of them. You'd seen how they acted when they were hungry, when they were scared, when the hunt went badly and everyone was tired and irritable. You'd watched how they treated people who couldn't do anything for them. There was no performance. You couldn't maintain a persona for long enough to fool anyone. The person you fell for was the person you actually knew. And weirdly, personality mattered more than almost anything else. Researchers looked at the Agta people in the Philippines, one of the last hunter-gatherer groups still living something close to the original way. They found that the most sought-after mates weren't necessarily the strongest or most beautiful. They were the best storytellers, the people who could make the whole camp laugh, who kept everyone calm when things got tense, who made the long, boring walks feel like less of a slog. Humor, warmth, the ability to hold a group together. These were the people everyone wanted to be with. Okay, so this part is genuinely fascinating and slightly strange. There was a biologist named Klaus Wiedekind who did this experiment in the 90s. He asked men to wear the same t-shirt for 2 nights. No deodorant, no cologne, just sleep. Then he asked women to smell the shirts and rate which ones they found most attractive. And they consistently preferred the smell of men whose immune system was most different from their own. Not randomly different. Specifically, complementarily different. Like the body was doing this quiet calculation. If these 2 people have kids, those kids will have a stronger immune system than either parent alone. And it was communicating that through a smell. Your nose has been helping you choose partners your entire life. You just didn't know it. Your ancestors didn't have deodorant or perfume masking everything. So this signal was much louder for them. That moment of noticing someone, that involuntary thing where your attention just lands on a person. Part of that is your body reading something your conscious mind doesn't even have access to. It was doing this for your ancestors too. They just experienced it as a feeling, the same way you do.
Here's something nobody really talks about. A lot of what we recognize as romance probably happened at night. Before fire, nighttime was dangerous. You stayed quiet, stayed still, tried not to be eaten, but fire changed everything. Suddenly you had these extra hours after the day's work was done. The whole group gathered around a flame, close enough to feel the warmth. And that's when the storytelling happened. The jokes, the singing, probably. The long conversations that go nowhere in particular, but somehow mean everything. Researchers who study modern hunter-gatherer groups found that nighttime conversation was almost entirely different from daytime talk. During the day, it was practical. Where to hunt, what to eat, who goes where. But at night around the fire, 80% of conversation was stories. Other people, other places, things that happened, things that might happen, dreams. That's probably where a lot of love happened too. Sitting close to someone in the dark, watching their face in the firelight, laughing at something together while the rest of the world disappeared. Romance evolved beside campfires. It's just that our campfires now look like dimly lit restaurants and the glow of a phone screen. So here's where it gets really interesting. We tend to romanticize ancient love as this pure, uncomplicated thing, but actually it was way more practical than we give it credit for. Human babies are absurdly helpless. A foal stands within hours of being born. A human baby can't hold its own head up, can't walk for a year, can't really do anything useful for like a decade. That is an enormous amount of work. And in the ancient world, doing that work alone was basically not survivable. So love, the staying part of it, the I want to be near this person even when things are hard, evolved partly to solve that problem. It's the body's way of saying, don't leave. This person is worth the difficulty. Love isn't just poetry. It's biology trying to stop two exhausted people from walking away from each other. And the thing that fascinates me is that it wasn't just the couple. It was everyone. Grandmothers helped raise grandchildren, older siblings, aunts and uncles. The whole group had a stake in every child that was born. Anthropologists call it cooperative breeding. Humans are the ape that needs a village. You didn't just fall for a person. You joined each other's people. So think about everything I stripped away at the start. No dating apps, no first dates, no love songs, no double texting, and yet they found each other. Because the thing that makes you notice someone wasn't invented recently. It was not designed by an algorithm. It was not taught to you by a rom-com. It is ancient. The specific catch of attention when you notice a person across a room. The way someone's laugh can make you feel warm before you've decided to. The wanting to be near someone that hits before you've had a single conversation. Your ancestors felt all of it. Around fires, on long walks across landscapes that no longer exist, across 30 feet of a camp that was their entire world. And here's the part I keep coming back to. Archaeologists have found graves tens of thousands of years old where people were buried holding each other, where flowers were placed beside bodies. Someone stopped, someone grieved, someone wanted the person they loved to not go into the ground alone. We've built so much around love since then. So much architecture, so much ceremony, so much noise. But underneath all of it, the thing itself hasn't changed at all. It's still just two people, a fire somewhere nearby, and something in the body deciding, this one.